Hello everyone, welcome back to Groom's classes. Today I'll teach is Mendel's monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. Okay, now see what Mendel did was Mendel took Pison sativum, the garden pea. Okay, and then he took tall plant and dwarf variety of plant. Now try to understand. Okay, now Mendel took tall plant and a dwarf plant. Okay, when he crossed this tall plant and dwarf plant, then he found all the plants to be tall. Try to understand. All the plants were found to be tall. So that means all the plants were found to be tall. See here. Okay. So Mendel thought when he crossed the tall plant and dwarf plant, all the plants were found to be tall in the F1 generation. So that means the characters, okay, of the dwarf plant must have been destroyed. So only tall plants, that is why only tall plants are seen. So that means tall plant is dominant over dwarf plant. So that was why he, okay, represented tall plant with capital letter. Okay, and then yeah, and dwarf plant with small letter. Okay, and why instead of writing small d, why are we using d? Okay, the question might be. So the answer is, okay, tall and dwarf, they are the traits of the character. Okay, and the character is height. The character is height. You can add medium also. Suppose there are various shapes. Suppose shape is there, round, okay, or conical, cone, or cylindrical. Yes or no? Okay, or square. They all belong to the character that is shape. So similar traits are represented, or that means traits belong to the same character will be represented by same alphabet. So that was why Mendel, instead of denoting with D, since tall and dwarf they belong to the same character and the character is height, and the character is height. Okay, so that means Mendel denoted tall with T, capital T, and dwarf with small t. And since when tall and dwarf was crossed with each other, tall plant was found in the F1 generation and not dwarf plant. So that was why Mendel thought tall is dominant upon dwarf. So that is why tall is represented by capital T and dwarf is represented by small t. So that means all these plants are tall. So let us represent it with capital T, capital T. In the F1 generation. Now Mendel, again what he did was, Mendel randomly crossed these two plants. Okay. When he crossed these two plants again of the F1 generation, taking them as parents, then Mendel, as usual, as he was expecting, he found plants, tall plants. But along with the tall plants, he found some of the plants to be dwarf in the F2 generation. Here Mendel was confused. By crossing the tall plants, as expected, Mendel found plants to be tall, but along with them, a dwarf plant was also found. Okay. Now, according to Mendel, tall plants are represented by capital T and capital T. So that means capital T, capital T, capital T, they all have. But a dwarf plant is seen here, for which he has to write small t. But in the F1 generation, these two parents don't have small t only. Then from where did this small t come here? So Mendel was confused. Okay. So then Mendel again corrected, his factors, because Now Mendel thought that a character, that means the character of the height character is controlled by one factor, and then the dwarf character is controlled by one factor. But when the dwarf character was seen in the F2 generation out of the tall, characters, then Mendel was confused here, and Mendel then, did a correction saying that no, a character is not controlled by one factor, but a character is controlled by two factors. A character is controlled by two factors, and okay, when these two plants are crossed with each other, they make is gamete. They make is what? Gamete. And the gametes are single T. Remember, the number of gametes does not matter, but the type of gamete matters. Okay, so that is why no matter how many gametes are formed, but all the gametes will have single T. Okay, now when this T and this T got crossed with each other, so that means all these plants in the F1 generation were tall, but they all had small t with them. So that means they all were tall, but they all were what? Hybrid tall. They all were hybrid tall. So that means what we can say is parents were pure tall, and then the F1 generation tall were hybrid tall. So when the hybrid tall plants were crossed with each other, then what was found was, I can show you with the help of a Punnett square. Now this tall plant, hybrid tall plant, will now make a gamete. They'll make a gamete is capital T will come in one gamete, small t will go in another gamete. So likewise here also capital T will go in one gamete, small t will go in another gamete. So that means we have is Punnett square. Okay, RC Punnett. So here we have is T and T will come here, this and this. Here, this and this. Here. So that means this tall plant is pure tall, this is hybrid tall, and dwarf. Okay, so that means from outside what we see, this is also tall, this is also tall, this is also tall. So we see, okay, 3 plants tall and we see 1 plant as dwarf. This is phenotypic ratio. Phenotypic ratio. Because try to understand, the phenotype or the phenotypic character of this combination is tall. The phenotypic character of this combination is also tall. The phenotypic character of this combination is also tall. The phenotypic character of this combination is dwarf. So that means T and T is the genotype, and this combination gives a character which is called tall. That is the phenotype. So tall is the phenotype. Try to understand. Tall is the phenotypic character, and alphabetically T and T is the genotypic character or the genotype. Fine. Now, but if we see the genotype, T and T we have is 1, that is pure tall. T and small t we have is 2, and then small t and small t we have is 1. This is genotypic ratio. This is genotypic ratio. So what matters is the genotype. Okay, what matters is genotype. Several genotypes. Now here also for tall plant, okay, 2 genotypes are there. That means for tall there are 2 genotypes, that is T and T or T and small t. Both these genotype are giving the phenotype tall. For dwarf we have is small t and small t. Okay, now they have is a name. So T and T is known as homozygous dominant pair. Capital T and small t is known as heterozygous, but capital T is expressed dominant pair, and small t is known as homo. They are same zygous, okay, recessive pair. Okay, the question might come from here. Okay, Now, Mendel did this experiment by taking only one character into consideration. Rest of the characters were taken as constant. So many characters are there in the pea plant, but only one character was taken into consideration, focused. He was focusing only upon one character, and that is the height. Okay, so when or a cross definition, it might come in section A. A cross which is done by taking only one character into consideration, or okay, a cross done by taking only one character into consideration is known as monohybrid cross. I think you may not be able to see that. Monohybrid cross. So this is a cross done by Mendel by taking only one character into consideration, and that character is known as what? Monohybrid cross. And according to Mendel, okay, a character is controlled by a pair of factors, and this pair of factors, suppose they are in contrasting pair, capital T and small t, then one of them will be dominant upon another. Both will not express. One of them will be dominant upon the another one. Okay, that is known as law of dominance. One will be dominant and the another one will be dominant. That means it will express itself, while the other one will not be able to dominate. It will be dominated. Okay, and it is known as recessive. So out of a pair of contrasting factors, okay, out of a pair of contrasting factors, capital T is a factor, another capital T is a factor. Again, I'm telling you, a character is controlled by a pair of factors. They might be dissimilar, but they are pair of factors. Okay, fine. And this is known as allele. 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 In higher terms, it is known as allele. Allele. They are a pair of genes occupying the same locus, controlling the same character, and they are present in a homologous pair. Okay. Now, out of a pair of contrasting factors, one is able to express while the other is unable to express, is known as law of dominance. And number 2 law, okay, Mendel formed laws of inheritance. Laws of inheritance. From here, Mendel formed laws of inheritance. Number 1 is law of dominance. Law of dominance. A pair of out of a pair of contrasting characters, one is able to express itself while the other is not, is known as law of dominance. So that means between T and capital T, this is a pair of contrasting factor whereby T is able to express while small t is unable to express itself. That is why the character becomes tall, is known as law of dominance. And number 2 is, and this pair of contrasting factor, again during the formation of gametes, they separate. That means capital T went in one gamete, small t went in another gamete. They separate. They don't go together in both the gametes. No, not like this. They separate during the formation of gametes. This is known as law of segregation. Okay. Now the third law is there, which is known as law of independent assortment, which I'll explain you in the next video. That is in the dihybrid cross. So dear students, can we go through it? Okay, the question might come: what is a monohybrid cross? What is an allele? Okay, what do you mean by homozygous, heterozygous, or recessive? Homozygous recessive pair. Okay, this might come in the law of dominance or segregation. You might have to write, or a question might come regarding this monohybrid cross. Okay, or you have to show a Punnett square. What do you mean by genotypic ratio, phenotypic ratio? What is the phenotype? What is genotype? All these might come. Okay, so kindly go through it. If you have any question, you can ask. Okay, thank you very much.